Okay, so we're going to be talking all about sponsoring. This is bringing people into your business, into your team. I know lots of you guys, I mean, you might be new watching this, or lots of you guys might understand how important this is in your business. And I mean important in not a selfish way. Honestly, I mean, obviously you can't move up in the company without sponsoring and bringing people into your team and helping them help with your team sales and all that jazz. But it's really not just about that, honestly. And you really have to, the more you realize like how you can help them, the easier sponsoring is going to be. So I'm just going to be giving any tips I have on sponsoring, and all the jazz. So, but, just muted. Okay. But yeah, when it comes to sponsoring and pretty much everything with this business, everything comes with a time. That's what you have to realize is like, I'm good at sponsoring now. A lot of leaders are good at sponsoring, but it comes with time. Everything comes with a time. Like nothing like immediately. I wasn't just like, yeah, like people will just want to join me like for the, the heck of it. People will want to join you as they see you progress over time. That's such a big thing. But as your trust builds, but as you grow as a person, this is why personal development is so important. You understanding how to talk to people, how to talk to different personalities, so many different aspects of personal development. Like that's such an important aspect in this business is growing yourself. And as you're growing yourself, you're going to change in a good way, like, grow. And people are going to see that, and it's good. People are going to be drawn to that and attracted to that. So you just have to think of this like as a really much like business mindset, and think that, people aren't just going to join you overnight. Like nothing's going to happen overnight. And such a big thing with sponsoring is expanding your network first. So I have other videos on my YouTube or on our team training page about expanding your network through online parties, through mutual friends, through groups, through all that kind of stuff, through doing your live videos and getting people to share. There's so many ways, okay? So make sure to do that because you have to expand your network. Like I have very minimal people that I know before I joined Meek that is with our company now, and most of the people that have joined me ever have decided to leave at some point because this isn't for everybody. But I had never expected when I joined to have my close friends and family join, and some of them are buying from me now, but still some of them have never supported me. Like that's just how it's going to be. So you can't expect especially your friends and family to join, maybe to buy, but to join is a whole nother thing. And that kind of brings me to no, I want to go to that point later. But the next thing, so such a big thing is, so you obviously, when whatever company you're with, if you're watching this on YouTube later or anything like that, whatever you're with, you should love the products, right? Like that's such a huge thing, is loving and sharing the products, especially because the product is a tangible item, something that you can show why you love it, what it's going to benefit, like how it's going to benefit somebody, what it's going to do for them. It's literally something tangible, something for the people to understand. The opportunity is harder to be tangible. It is, honestly, I think it's such a tangible item, but it's harder to explain the potential. Like you can explain how a foundation is going to benefit somebody, how a skincare product is going to benefit somebody, how a mascara is going to improve their lashes. There you can explain easily how that's going to help somebody, but it's harder to explain how an opportunity can change somebody's lives. Like it's so hard. And by changing somebody's lives, there's many different reasons. Sometimes it's financially, sometimes it's your confidence, sometimes it's you having more friends, you building yourself up, growing yourself, having another outlet besides just say being a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is, there's a benefit of this. It's sometimes money, a lot of times money, but not always. It can change your life for so many reasons. And when you're new, it's hard for you to even sometimes realize that how this can change so many people's lives. So as soon as you realize that, and as soon as you realize that this can change your life in many different aspects, like I said, and that this can change other people's lives, it becomes such more of a tangible item to be able to share with people, like how this can change, not how it will, because it's not going to change everybody's lives. People aren't always going to let it happen, let it change their life, that type of thing. Fully immerse themselves in this life, that type of thing, in this business mindset too. So that's such a what makes selling, quote unquote, the opportunity harder than selling a product sometimes. But for me, it's like such a no-brainer. That's how I go about it, is especially with Unique, when we're in, like, it's such a no-brainer because there's no fees, there's no commitments, like there's nothing to honestly lose, except maybe some time. If you're gonna go in this, you have to give it the time. Obviously, you have to give it the time, and more than just a couple weeks, more than just a couple months. You have to give it a good amount of time, like any business, but you don't have to give it money. You don't have to like spend all your savings like lots of other businesses. But the hardest part, and Deb Erickson has a amazing video. I did share this in the team page. She did this recently on her, I think her business page. But she was talking about how for women it's a little bit harder. I'm just gonna think of something water. Oh God, as I knock stuff over. She talks about how it's a little bit harder for women, and I like had never really realized in explaining and teaching this way until she said that. So like I am at this point over 2 years in the business, like I am comfortable now with sponsoring. It wasn't always comfortable at all remotely for me. And when I started like slowly started to sponsor, like I was realizing like there was a lot of people I was getting close to. Like that's how it is. It is amazing to build friends and a sisterhood in this, but you also have to, when you become a leader, when you start growing a team, even if you have a team of one other, you are a leader, you have to have that leader mindset versus that mama mindset, like that quote unquote mama, like you are get so close to somebody that you want it so bad for them, and you say, I will do, like when you're trying to sponsor them, you're going to say like, I want to, I'll help you with whatever you need, I'll help you get there, like we'll do this together, that type of thing. But you can't promise that. You can promise that you're going to help them, yes, but you can't promise they can succeed. And that's what you have to realize. You have to take that weight off your shoulder, and you can't make somebody succeed. They have to want it to succeed themselves. They have to want it. They have to put the time and the work in. It's your job as their sponsor to give them the tools, to make sure they're in their team pages, to make sure they understand our comp plan, understand their back office, how to make a party. They understand all that stuff. They understand all that stuff in their training group. That's your only job. Your job is to answer their messages. If they message you and they ask you a question, yes, you answer. But it's not your job to be at their beck and call every other second, or like messaging them every other second. Like you're going out of your way and like making them succeed, because you can't make them succeed. So when you're offering the opportunity to people, and I never realized that I do this in every opportunity video that I ever make. And if somebody asks me, will you help me work? This is the type of words that I use. So anytime I make an opportunity video, talking about like joining basically, in a gist, I always say, I do the whole spiel of like my story, there's no fees, commitments, all that jazz. And then I always say, after you join, you'll be added to my team and training groups. You'll have my support and you'll have all the tools you need, but it is your job, to put the tools into action. I can't make you work. And I always word it differently. It's whatever comes off the top of my head, but, it's your job to work. Like I can't make you work. I can give you all the tools, but I can't make you work. But if you never need me, I'm here for you. That type of thing. That's what you have to come across when you're doing videos. When people are asking me, will you help me? Like they're texting you and they're like, will you help me go? And I'm like, yes, I'll give you all the tools. It's your job to put the tools into action, but I'm here to help you, to guide you, to answer your questions. Yes, that type of thing. You have to put that weight off your shoulders. It's not your responsibility if they succeed or not. Also, if they do succeed, honestly, it's not 100%. Like it's them. It's them that did it. Like you helped them get there. But like anytime my girls succeed, I know this. A lot of leaders say this. Like I don't feel like it was my doing. I feel like they're amazing on their own. Like the same thing. Like you have to realize the same thing when somebody doesn't succeed. It's not your fault. So like just because anytime somebody's going to succeed under you, you're not going to think like, yeah, that's because of me. Like nobody is that, I don't know, arrogant to like think that. But a lot of us, especially as women, feel like the burden on our hearts, like they didn't succeed because of me. It's not because of you. If you gave them the tools, it's not because of you. So that's a lot of times where people don't want, like maybe they say had one person that failed under them. They don't want to sponsor. They get that nervous. That thing about sponsoring, that's such a big thing with women specifically. Men don't always have that emotional aspect, that mama bear aspect. And you want to care about your people, of course, but you have to put the weight off your shoulders, because it's not your job to make anybody succeed. It's just your job to help them get there. So if you stop when you're messaging people and or talking to people with that opportunity, if you're not, don't tell them that you're going to make them succeed, because you're not going to. And it'll put the weight off your shoulders, and it'll make you feel more comfortable talking to more people about this, and not feeling like, especially as you're growing like a bigger team, there's only a certain amount of time you can put towards each person, especially if you start getting hundreds of people on your team. You will get overwhelmed if you put too much of your mama bear on every single one and want every single one to succeed. Then you'll kind of shut down and not want to sponsor anymore and just want to help those, when you need to constantly be bringing new people, because this is not for everybody. That's just business ownership, entrepreneurship, boss babeship, like all that generalness isn't for everybody. That's just how it is, unfortunately. It can be for anybody. I never thought it would be something for me until I started doing it, and I realized it is something for me. Like, I would have never imagined owning my own business, having my own team, doing these trainings, doing videos in any general sense. So it is possible for anybody, just everybody is not going to put the time and the work into doing it. So that part came a little bit longer than I was anticipating, but I think I got through that aspect. Okay. I was just reading my notes. Okay, so when you're talking about the opportunity, there's many ways to go about it. And you should go about it in every single way that you possibly can. So in a general sense, yes, we should be making posts about the opportunity. Making posts, you can talk about like how there's no fees commitments and you get this huge kit of makeup for only $99. Talk about that. Talk about like my Y card paid for this, yada, yada. Like, not in a big sense, but like, I'm so thankful for this financial freedom. I'm so thankful to be able to go to my kid's soccer game and not have to ask for the day off. I'm so thankful to go on this vacation. Like if you earn the trip, if you just can go on vacation in general because you need, if whatever it is, anything lifestyle, you can make a post of before and after. This is me before I joined Unique. Look at the confidence in my first selfie with Unique versus my selfie 2 months later, 10 months later, 2 years later, whatever it is. There's so many ways you can go about the opportunity. Being able to stay home with your kids, working from wherever. So you can make posts like all the time, very different posts. Talk about the Unique Foundation. Like there's many different posts you can make about the opportunity because there's many different people, and there's a book, and I know there's videos about the color personality, and everybody wants to join Unique for different reasons. Some people join for the Unique Foundation, some people join just for a little side income, some people join for the business, some people join for this sisterhood. I don't know if I said that one. It's for the sisterhood. Some people join because they want to be able to get the free vacation once a year. There's many different reasons, so that's why you have to constantly be talking about all the reasons that Unique has improved your life, that type of thing, and why it's a good option for different people. So if you're making those general posts, you're reaching out to many different people. But everybody's not going to see all your posts. That's just guaranteed how it is. But they might see one that intrigues them, that they like. But that's also why we have to be constantly messaging about the opportunity. You can't just make posts, but it's kind of a mix of both. You make your post and then you message and they said, yeah, I saw that post a little bit ago about the Unique Foundation. Can you tell me more about that? Or, whatever it is, maybe they saw something that they like when you're offering the opportunity, or vice versa. You offer the opportunity, they've never seen a post on your wall. Maybe they're don't necessarily follow you, like specifically, like lots of people have lots of friends. They're not going to see everybody's posts, and they didn't even know that you were with Unique. Maybe even if you actually personally know this in person and they didn't know that you were with Unique. Now they know, and now they're going to see more of your posts that they're going to be like, no, I'm not interested in the opportunity. They're going to text you back, and you're going to be like, okay, we're going to talk about that aspect in a second. But then they're randomly going to see a post from you a little bit later, and you're just going to keep planting that seed. So whichever way you go, you have to be messaging either way. Again, have to be focusing on expanding your network, like it's the beginning, because you're going to run out of people to message at some point. But so now I want to talk about messaging. So I kind of talked a little bit about different posts you can make. But when you message people, so like the easiest way to message somebody about the opportunity is when they buy a product. You follow up with them, because you better be following up with them, making sure that they are liking their product or helping them exchange it if they do not like it. And then only when they say, yes, oh my God, I love my product, my mascara, my foundation, whatever it is. Yes, I love that. Thank you so much for asking, whatever they say. You can be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you love it. Just curious, have you ever thought of doing what I do? Since you love the product, I just want to see if it was ever, in your head. You can leave it as small or whatever. Don't word vomit, but leave it as small. You can just be like, have you ever thought of doing what I do? Just leave it simple like that. Most of the time they're going to say no. Once in a while they'll be like, yeah, I thought about it, but no. Or no, I have never thought about it. Can you tell me more? If they say, can you tell me more? For me, it's such a big thing. I always ask, and this goes for even if they first message me, I didn't even message them first. I always say, what information do you want? Because you don't want to word vomit with crap ton of information. Maybe they don't care about the price of the kit. So don't start with the price of the kit. They care about that. Ask them, what kind of questions do you have? I'll be happy to answer anything. And then sometimes they ask, if there's fees or commitments after. Sorry, my throat. I get talking so much. I feel like I got a cat hair. Goodness gracious. But yes, and then you just start a conversation with them. So when they come back with an objection, we call it, they say, no, I don't have time. No, I'm not good at makeup. No, I'm not a salesperson. Whatever their objection is, never like object to their objection. I don't know what's the right word to say. Never be like, so if they say, I don't have time for this. No, be like, you do have time. If you ever come back at them like against them, like, yes, you have time. What are you talking about? You know, I know you personally, you have time. Or I'm not good at makeup. Yes, you are. Yeah, I know you're good at makeup. Like, don't argue with them. There we go. That's the word. Don't argue with them. Use the feel, felt, found method. Okay, write those words down. I do have a complete video on this as well on my YouTube channel, but this means like, so you're gonna understand where they're coming from. So say they don't have time. So I'm gonna go like back to when I joined. So I worked a full-time job when I joined. So I'm gonna put myself in this situation. I totally understand how you feel. I totally felt the same way. When I joined, I had a full-time job. I was managing the job that I worked at. So I was working a lot of extra shifts and stuff like that. So I totally understand how you feel. But what I found is that we could work this from our phone wherever. I could sneak a little bit extra at night and wake up a little bit early. And I could do some extra time things on my days off. I could work this from wherever, answer messages wherever. And it's just, such a blessing for me that I can work this from my phone. Something, whatever your situation is. Relate to your situation or find somebody else's situation that you relate to. If they talk about they're not being a salesperson, I relate to them too because I was not a salesperson. I worked at a barbershop cutting hair for a living before. Like, I was not a salesperson, so I relate to them. I say, I totally understand how you feel. But what I found was that I don't sell. I just share the products I love. So when I find a new restaurant I love, I tell my friends about it. When I find a new pair of shoes I like, I tell my friends about it. It's the same thing with the products. I find something I like and I share it. So you explain and understand where they're coming from instead of arguing with them. Okay, does not mean that they're going to join. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, okay, I get you. They're going to be like, but lots of times I end with, that's totally okay. I'm still here to be your makeup girl. So you can end with that so they don't feel pressured to need to join. So you can end with something simple like that. But then they can understand that you know where they're coming from, and then a little bit more about Unique, that type of thing, that it is all done from their phone, or that you don't have to be a salesperson, or you don't need to be a makeup artist before, all that kind of stuff. So that's when you're the recruiting through the follow-up process, that basically thing. Now, when you're messaging people randomly, okay, so sometimes when you know somebody really well, if you've had conversations, this is when it's easy, when you've had conversations that would relate anything back to Unique. This is like for them joining. Maybe they said that they're sad that that they have to work 2 jobs and they want to quit one of them. Maybe they want to make an extra income for the stay-at-home mom. Maybe they're pregnant and they don't want to have to go back to work after they have their kid. Maybe they want to be able to go on more vacations. Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom that doesn't need any extra money, but she wants to feel, more than just like staying home with her kids. She wants to have that extra thing for her, her thing, her me thing, my thing, that type of thing. So whatever, maybe you're having a normal conversation and they just mention something about like, I could really use extra income, or, I just feel so alone sometimes just being home with my kids and not having really many friends around me. They can have the sisterhood, that type of thing. So you can reach out to them about that. Like, whether maybe you never talk to them about the Unique specifically, you can be like, just reach out to them and be like, hey girl, like, I don't know if you've ever thought of doing what I do, but I'd really love to offer you this to try to make some extra money, or have the sisterhood of our team, whatever it is, and just keep it short and sweet, keep it non-salesy, not join my team, join here, join now. You never want to say those type of words, okay? But also another way, when you're just scrolling through your newsfeed and you find there's those people you see on Facebook that you just know they'd be great at this. Maybe they're good at makeup. Maybe they're just good at taking selfies. Maybe they just have a lot of friends on Facebook. Whatever it is, or I don't even know what else, but any of those type of things, like, you can message them, and this is such a great, it's called the 3 C's. It's such a great way to reach out to them without being salesy, okay? Or like cold market, like maybe these people you don't really know that well, but you kind of know, you've been friends with them for a while on Facebook. You can message them and just stick some up there and be like, and this is the 3 C's, confident, compliment, confidence. Compliment, confident, oh my God, no. See, I can only think of it at the top of my head. So I can't think of the words of the 3 C's right now, okay? But I do know if I'm messaging somebody, I'm like, Hey girl, oh, crazy. There we go. Crazy, confident, compliment. Crazy, confident, compliment. Okay. 3 C's is too hard. It's too many C's. So I'd be like, oh my God, hey girl, you probably think I'm crazy, but you are seriously gorgeous and you take amazing selfies. Make sure this is genuine to that specific person. Okay. Have you ever thought of doing what I do? I think you'd be amazing because of this reason, whatever it is, because you have a lot of friends, you have a huge influence, because you're great at makeup, because you take great selfies, whatever it is. So you're coming at them like, oh my God, you might think I'm crazy. So then they're going to come across like, no, you're not crazy. Oh, thank you so much, because you gave them a compliment. They're going to be like, thank you so much for that. No, I haven't thought about that. I don't know. Or wait, what do you do? And then you explain what you do. And you can word it however you want to do it. I wouldn't say I sell makeup. Like, that's just too basic. There's so many different ways you can be like, you can say like, I sell mascara on Facebook and I show my team how to do the same thing to build a business from your house. You can say something like that, but don't just say I sell makeup, like some small stupid, little question or a little answer like that. But figure out a little sentence of what draws you to unique, that type of thing. Cause you're gonna get people coming to your team that's drawn into you. That's why everybody draws different type of people. That's why people can always constantly be recruiting, because every single person is not attracted to the same person. They are attracted. Everybody's attracted to different people and what type of vibe they're giving out. Some people like people that are better, more makeup artists. Some people like the people that are more down to earth. Some people like more perky people. Some people like more true, like real, I guess, quote unquote, people, like not as perky, whatever it is. So everybody's going to be attracted to different type of things. Or sometimes they'll just relate to you. Moms relate to moms sometimes, and military wives relate to military wives, or, sometimes things like that. Not always. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say on those aspects. Oh, sorry. This is the biggest thing. This is the biggest thing for me. When you are messaging people, okay, or when you are making the opportunity, a post, a message, anything about this, you have to genuinely be thinking about them. That's also why you kind of want, if you're messaging, make it as personal as possible. If you know something about that person, make it personal to them. Because everybody's not going to benefit from the same reason. Again, the color personalities. Some people want the sisterhood, some people want the money. Everybody wants to join for different reasons. So you can't talk to the same people about the same exact thing, like only money. People aren't going to join for only money sometimes. People aren't going to only join for the sisterhood. Everybody joins for different reasons. So that's such a big thing. But you are just offering the opportunity. Don't be hurt by no's. Don't care about no's. It's only your job to offer. It's not your job to make anybody join. It's not your job to convince people to join. That's why I never convince people to join, ever, ever, ever. Okay. I present the opportunity. They come back with maybe objection. I come back with feel, felt, found, and I say, I'm your makeup girl if you have any questions. Sometimes they reach out to me a very long while later. They end up joining. Maybe they never do. Maybe they're just a good customer. It doesn't matter. It's only my job to make sure that they know that this is here, if they ever want it. Okay. You never want to make people, it's like the waitress thing. Like people, they're coming around with coffee and they're like, do you want more coffee? Or do you want a refill on your water? Or do you want dessert? Like, they don't care if they hear no. Don't care if you hear no. Okay. And you should be reaching out to so many people that you don't even really care when people say no, but also just don't take it personally. They're not saying no to you. They're just saying, and lots of times it's not right now. Maybe it's the first time that they've ever remotely thought about joining. And then they have to do more research about the company, keep following your page. Maybe they just see you in for many, many months and they're like, oh, this girl's still doing this. She still loves this makeup. Maybe I should do this too. So you never really know. You just have to realize that you're presenting them with a great life, whatever their life wants to change. Wise, you can offer such a great opportunity for them, especially to be able to work from home and to make money from home is such a huge thing. That you just have to be non-selfish in that way when you're messaging people and not really care if they say no, because you're just offering the opportunity to everybody, just so that they know it's an option and that it's here. So I hope this was helpful about sponsoring. I'm gonna pause recording.